remember the sunflower. She said, remember how you said to me, you were the only person with sunflowers. And then I looked up and they were everywhere. And I said, yes, ma'am. She said, let me tell you why. So she took me outside and we examined the sunflower and we examined the seed in the sunflower. And she said, you see this little bitty seed? I said, yes, ma'am. She said, so imagine this seed as your actions, right? She said, keep that in mind. She said, so this little bitty seed, I was the only one you saw in the neighborhood with sunflowers in my front yard. She said, now when you get off the bus and you start walking, there are sunflowers in people's yards. There are sunflowers on the side. There's sunflowers everywhere along the walk, right? And I said, yes, ma'am. She said, let me tell you why. She said, because in the middle of that sunflower, that black thing that you see, it holds seeds. She said, and when the wind and when the rain comes, it just maneuvers the flower and beats down on it, and the sun causes that part that's holding the seed to open up. And she said, and then the seeds pop out and they fall on the ground. She said, and then the rain comes and the rain pushes along with the wind, pushes those seeds to different parts of the neighborhood, even across the street when you would walk to school, right? And I said, yes, ma'am. She said, and so what happens is the rain beats those seeds down in the ground and it causes them to go under the ground and the dirt comes over them. And she said, and then it buries them and then the seeds go in the ground and then they die and then they end up producing sunflowers everywhere. It started over here in my yard, though. She said, but when life happens, it causes those seeds to flow and go. And she's saying that little bitty seed that nobody can see, that nobody pays attention to. Somebody might walk along and look and overlook it. She said, but before you know it, boom, it has produced a big sunflower. She said, Angie, so it is with your life and your actions, right? She said, so it is. That's why you got to be careful, Angie. Let me tell you why she said you have to be careful. She said you have to be careful because you can do something over here that no one will see you doing. You can tell a lie on somebody. You can mistreat somebody over here, and somebody might walk past it just like that little sunflower seed. It might be overlooked. It might be ignored, right? She said, but then Yahweh will cause life to happen, right? And he'll cause that seed to go and be buried. And you think that it's gone and you forget about what you did over here, right? And this seed is over here in the ground. It's dying. So you forgot about it when it died. But let me tell you, she said after a while, by and by, when the rain and the sun, not the S-U-N, the S-O-N rains on it, and he causes it to come up, what that little seed that nobody saw you sow is going to produce is going to be something that's so big that nobody will ever be able to ignore. She said, so Angie, it would behoove you to treat people the way you want to be treated. It would behoove you to act like Yahweh is watching you. It would behoove you to move with integrity. That means you do the right thing, whether anybody is looking or not, because to be sure, whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap. So be very careful, little hands, what you do. Be careful, little mouth, what you say, because the Father up above is looking down in love. And to be sure, them little seeds that you sow over here in the dark, what they produce is going to be in the light and everybody's going to be able to see it. Some people call it karma, but the Bible calls it sowing and reaping. Whatever you put out is going to come back to you. And I hope that you're able to sit down at the table and eat from the plate that you so easily served to others.